merge with that peacock teal to make a really lovely sort of acid green colour. So that's how I did those ones. What else have I got on here? This one, I think I did the same as that. If I'm looking at it, yeah, I did that exactly the same. So let's have a look at the leaves. So I've got my holly green. That's all I used for the leaves. So we've got these ones here. What else? And I use it on here too. Again, nice lot of ink. You don't have to use this much. And you don't have to use these inks. You could use, or we've got these big ones here. You could use, if you don't want sparkle, you can just use plain your ordinary watercolour inks. You could use anything. You use your alcohol pens, whatever you choose in this one here. I think that's it. Oh, and there is a little heart somewhere in there. I'll find in a minute, which I did in pink. Oh, there it is. There's the heart. Mix up my pink again. There's a little heart. And then I went all the way around the edge again, and I'm not going to have enough, but we'll see, in the that gorgeous golden sunrise. So that's all the colour combinations that I've used. Oh, I tell you, it is a good job I made one. I've been a little bit what's the word, slapdash, not concentrating really on, I think, because I'm trying to make sure I get through everything. Okay, so that's all the colours. Let's put them away, because I don't need those now. And I'll get out the ones that I have finished. Let's put that in there to dry, and all the inks away. Up with it. Ooh. So I'm just gonna give this a final blast, because we do want these ones. Actually, do we? Should we don't? I think I might have these done, but I'm going to dry them anyway. Hi, Pam. How are you? Thanks. Pam, I'm pretty sure. I've been so embarrassed I've got this wrong. It's the lady that had the iris dye. She was after the iris dye. So yeah, brilliant. Okay, so there's those. Let me get this. Here you go. My finished one. So much more professional. Still got the smudges. Oh, always have spares just in case. And yeah, we won't bother fussy cutting because I have already fussy cut those, but we'll keep those for another project. So I've got my 3 here. You can see what I mean. I left a white edge here, and I wish I hadn't. On that one I wouldn't have a white edge, but yeah, you live and learn. So these, as you can see, will, I'm sure there's probably a right way. Will they go over? Yeah, that's the way. They will layer onto these ones. I'm not going to sit and fiddle with that. So you could, if you wanted, put those on. I'm very tempted to do that, but no, we won't. Otherwise I'll run out of time for other things. Get carried away. So what I need to do now is to put everything together. Still got a few bits to do, a little bit of stamping, a little bit of die cutting. Let's get our original out to remind us where we're going. So we've got the sentiment to stamp in there, and we've got this to stamp and those to cut. So, right, tag is ready, base is ready. I'm going to find my little stamp block, and I'm going to use what did I use? Have a beautiful day. This one. Have a beautiful day. paper. And I'm going to stamp it in here. If there's anyone else out there who's watching like Pam, do say hello as well. It'd be lovely to know who's there. And if you've got any questions, please do ask and I will try to answer them. So that's stamped ready. And then I'm not going to stamp this yet until I've sorted this out. And I think I've already got them cut. Because I'm just looked in my box and I don't have a bit of black card. So I do already have them cut out. So we'll just go with that, I think. These are, if I remind you, using this really lovely die set. These alphabet dies are just gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous font, gorgeous size. So I'm going to stick these on first and then we'll stamp our Happy Mother's Day. We can arrange it properly. Grab this and get some glue. And then I will cut that out and we can get everything stuck on. Project number 1. I've gone very quiet. It's like, woo. Yeah. So as I was saying earlier, we have videoed some other ones with these. So I've used the flowers to make like a flower pot card. What else did we do? Oh, I did use them to make a acetate easel card. All good things for Mother's Day. So there's Mum. Could be Nan. I think you probably just about get Gran on there, but it's probably nothing else. Or Mam, if you say that sounded awful. Mam. Oh, it makes me feel like I'm saying Mom, and I know I'm not. No apologies to anyone watching who calls their mum Mam. If I've completely mullered that with my southern accent. Right, what do I want? So I want this stamp set now. This is the Everyday Sentiment. I wouldn't say they were everyday, as in Mother's Day isn't like an everyday thing you use, or Father's Day. That said, I do not have another stamp set in my collection that has Mother's Day on it. So it's a very good one. So we're going to just stamp Mother's Day just over the one. Whew. This is the bit I hate doing live. I'm such a mucky stamper. As you can see on the sample, I managed to almost drop the happy stamp and make a bit of a mess. And then I want happy. Happy. Oh, that one's better. That's cleaner. And I'm just going to clean that off on that. I know that looks like I'm ruining my bit, but I'm cutting. Oh, that was close. See, that's what I do. But I'm going to be cutting that off. So that, all our sentiments now stamped. Those are ready for our tag in a moment. Now, I made a conscious decision not to cut this out with waving a pair of scissors. Not to cut this out with the guillotine because these edges are not straight, and I just thought if I then have a really straight white edge, it's going to look a bit. So I literally have just gone in with my scissors and kind of tried to follow the edge, but not worrying too much if I am not, but not getting too close to the edge. Yeah, I don't want to get right in there and sort of slice into the embossing. Get rid of that. And get all our bits in. Oh, that's the other one. Right, so this is going to sit on here. I just when I was making this, I just wanted something that was really bright, and then that orange was like, yeah, that orange card is what I need to just really make this whole thing really pop. And you can see how much I soaked the ink on this. There we go. That's there, and then this just goes on the front. I did when I made it. I cut one of those little thumb things here and then realised actually that was pointless because I needed to cover it up to stick this on. Right. Last thing then, I've got a little bit of ribbon. Oh, if I've lost the black ribbon, we'll just go, oh no, it's there. You may have seen a live quite a few weeks ago when I did some Elizabeth Craftsman. This is one of the reinforcement from the reinforcement die set, reinforcement pack 2 I think it is. They're just great little things to reinforce your tags and your hole punches. They're all sorts of shapes. I think there's 12 different ones in there. Right, now I think I'm going to use 3D glue gel on this. And I'm going to stop before I do that. I'm going to put my ribbon through first. Otherwise, I'm going to be trying to put ribbon through with wet glue, which isn't going to work too well. So let's just poke this through and pull them out of the side. Ooh. And then, right, that's the ribbon. So now I'm not going to be fussing with that while I've got wet glue on my flowers. I'm going to give them a little bit of a... Yeah, I think definitely painting over the edges so that you don't get that white is the way to go. Underneath, don't I? So that you haven't got that white edge. Although that said, because we've got the white edge here and the white edge here, it doesn't not too out of place. Oh, upside down. So there we go. There we have our first project. We have our, in fact, look at that. I can bring that down a bit more, I think. Our pocket card. No. Oh, no. We have a back to front pocket card, which probably means it's going to be an upside down pocket card too. Yes. Not to worry. I'm not gonna pull it off. What I have done, look, this is why you should always check what you're sticking on. I have stuck that one upside down. So now we have an upside down pocket card. But you get the idea. Go back to the original. Just stuck on the right way. There you go. That's what it should be. Oh, right, so that's our first little project. So we are going to move on to our next one. It uses the same die set, which is the Fantasy Floral, but it also uses the Floral Foliage. Now I misspoke just a minute ago. I said this morning that I had videoed the Acetate Easel. No, I didn't, because I'm about to do it now. Having a little bit of a day today. Been all a bit of a fluster. So let's put this one aside. Let's tidy up and just breathe and make sure I put all the bits in all the right places. So, like I said, I'm going to look at the Acetate Easel now. This one ready for the end. So what do I need for this? Let's bring all my box bits. So here we go. This is our Acetate Easel card. So there are several parts to it. Obviously the easel base, which I'm going to show you. We've got acetate. Now I've used alcohol inks on the acetate. And then I have used the same florals we've just seen, this time with Distress Oxide, sorry. But I've also this time used one of the floral foliage stamps. Let me just grab that stamp set and bring that in. So this is the floral foliage stamp, and I've used this one. Now, so you can see where I put ink on the back of it. As I said before, oh no, I didn't say before. It's been one of those days. I know I said this on the video this morning. Well, not when I did acetate, because I'm doing that now. That these are almost impossible to cut out. So whereas these flowers are really simple to cut out, this is almost impossible. And so what I have done though is I've used this one and I've cut it up into pieces so that I could use them in and around the flowers. So that's that stamp set. And then Just For You, I think, comes from the original stamp set as well. So the Just For You that I've used here. Okay. Right, and the mum, just like before. Let's see what we've got then. Let's have a look and see if I've got all my bits that I need. Let's start with the acetate, shall we? Yes, let's start with the acetate. I have got 2 pieces of acetate here. One I have stuck onto one I have put onto double-sided sticky tape so that I can sorry, ink all over me already. Stick this onto the base of the card, and then the other one, which is the one you want to see through, I've just left. So I'm going to get a piece of paper just because I don't want to be putting alcohol ink all over my thing to clean up. It will clean up, it's just I don't want to have to clean up. So the 3 that I'm using are from the brights of the alcohol. Mine are getting very old and very empty. So I've used Watermelon, which is the red colour. I've used Purple Twilight, and I've used Pool. I'm going to get myself a new piece of felt. We've not used alcohol inks before. You can just squirt them. There's all sorts of, if you go online, there are a gazillion techniques you can use with alcohol ink. If you want to do this kind of dabbing technique, then although this looks very similar to the ink blending tool, I mean, it probably is the same as the ink blending tool, you can't use the foam with alcohol ink. You need these felt applicators, and you get big sort of refill packs of those. So we're going to start with the Purple Twilight, and all I want really is kind of a little bit sort of along this corner of each, just to okay, so we've got some purple on there already, just to create a bit of a background area. So I am literally, and you can see how different it looks. When you look at this, you think it's going to be quite a dark purple, but actually it's really quite a pinky purple, which is why the final bit looks very red, because you've got this kind of pinky purple, you've got that watermelon red going in. So that's one bit. Let's do the same one here while I've got a bit of ink. A little bit goes a long way, but you can always have a bit more. And if you get like a blob, can you see, if you go back over it, it does change it. So don't think, you know, that it's kind of as it is. You can always, with alcohol ink on these non-porous surfaces, go back and play with it. Okay, right, so let's put the lid back on that one before I get in a mucky mess. Let's go with our watermelon. So that one was Purple Twilight that I just used. This is now watermelon, and I'm using the same piece of felt because we're going over that purple. Oh, I managed to get about there. That's not a problem. You can see this is quite bright. And then a it on here. Like so. A bit more up there. Like that. And then the last one is Pool. And put that bit on there. I'm just going to try and add in a little bit of the Pool here and there. Okay, so I think we'll go with that. So that's my 2 pieces of acetate. We'll put those to one side. Where am I going to put those? So many things today. So many things. I do apologise. I've got stuff all over my fingers already and they look mucky. So let's have a look at the card and the card base and what we're going to do with the card base. So, just checking which bit is for the base of my card. I don't really want to be... Oh, they're both the same. Okay. No problem. Right, so I have a piece of card. It is the length of a piece of A4. And it is 4 3/4 inches wide. I need to score it. So first of all, we're going to score it at 5 7/8, which is half. And then roughly halfway, it's kind of a toss-up because half of 5 7/8 ends up in 16ths and it's an impossible kind of one today. So we'll go at 2 7/8. Okay, now I am not yet going to fold and burnish that because I need to cut my aperture, and I've just used this rectangle die, which is, I don't know if I've got the dimensions of it, but I can probably measure it. Let's see, so it'll be about 4 inches by 5, I think. Yeah, so 4 by 5. So if you don't have a rectangle die, then you could measure that out and cut it out by hand. So I'm going to get a bit more tape. And now you will also need to cut 3 frames. So you need 3 bits of card this size, which is what, 5 7/8 by 4 1/2, 4 3/4, and then cut the aperture into that. I've already done that. I'll show you that in a moment because you don't really need to see me run a rectangle die through a machine 4 times. Okay, nice clean plates. New plate. Although I do get into trouble because I keep getting through them at a rate. Right, so this is what I mean. I have cut 3 frames so that this is the same size as half of that piece of card. Check that's cut. Yeah, that's cut. Ooh, stuck. So, as you can see, it's the same as that. Same size as the base. And then I've used the same rectangle die to cut in an aperture. And that's because, let's just burnish these bits first. On there. And then those 2 pieces there. That's because you need 2 to sandwich the acetate to stick on here, and then you need another one to go around your acetate on the bottom. Okay, and I'm going to check I've got the right size piece of card. I don't know which one. I didn't label these today. Doesn't look like either of them. might just have to cut one down, but that will do. I'll keep that one to one side. So let's find those bits of acetate that we've just done. So this one needs to be sandwiched between two of these. So I'm going to grab my glue, and I'm hoping because I've just realised I've left the lid off of this one. Let's just see if it's going to play. That's good. So I am going to put glue onto the frame rather than onto the acetate. So I'm going to put the glue on there, and I'm going to put this on. Now I may need to trim it a little bit, but I'm not too bothered about that. And then I'm going to put glue on this frame. And so I'm looking to line up frames, not worrying about the acetate because I can trim off the acetate. There we go. Just a little bit on top here. And just a bit out here. There we go. Right. So that is going to stick onto this part of the card. So we'll just leave that for a moment. This part is going to I am just going to chop this down just slightly because I have a worry that I'm going to end up with it hanging over the bottom. Okay, so I'm going to stick this down first. I haven't stuck it on. I was thinking, did I already stick it on the card? Oh, yeah. Okay, so I'm going to stick that bit down. It is going to be covered, first of all, by this. So, let's say I've got double-sided sticky on this. So, let me just pull a little bit off. I'm going to open that out. And I'm going to stick it down. Now, you're never going to get it completely flat. I mean, part of the problem is I stuck the when I stuck the acetate on, I didn't get it particularly flat. See, look, I've got stuff all over my fingers. It's getting everywhere. There we go. Okay, so I'm just going to put that back over and rub it down a little bit. And then this will sit over the top. Now, the reason I put white card underneath is because I wanted to be able to see the alcohol ink, and if you put that straight onto the purple card, you will see it a bit, but it just won't pop off the page as much. So that's why I put some white card there. And then that one, oh come on, that one's going on there. And let's stick this one on so that by the time we get everything else ready, they will be stuck. There we go. Push that down there. Right, so that's the base of our easel card ready. And so now we just need to get our flowers sorted. So we'll use this piece of card. Now I know I've got a bit on the inside. Okie dokie. That we need in a moment. Mucky. Right, just like I did before, I'm going to stamp these flowers and get the stamp press out again. And I am using, whereas last time, I used VersaFine Clair and I used an embossing powder. This time I'm not embossing, so I need an ink that is going to be waterproof. So I'm using Spectrum Noir's Spectrum Noir's Harmony waterproof ink. I'm having a right old brain fog today. Am I on my own? Is everyone else having a good day? It's just me. Probably just me. Right. Okay. There we go. Okie dokie. So I want what I want is not there. Bear with me a moment. I've disappeared off the screen. I cannot find my ink pad that I want. Right, no problemo. We will go with, what else have I got here? Oh, this is the one. I hope you're all having a good laugh, and I'm cheering you up, even though it is at my expense today, because I'm just about to ink the back of those stamps, which is not what you need to do. You need to do that, and then you need to ink them. So, hey. Right, get a grip, Carole, get a grip. Get on with it. Right, so okay, we need more ink, possibly more pressure too. Definitely a bit more ink. Let's bring it this way round, and I can push from above. See how I've done there. A little bit. What we missing? We're missing a bit on this, and we're missing a bit on that. I do think possibly it's my pressure. Not possibly, it is my pressure. I know if I stood up and did it, it would work. Just, I don't think you really need to see me standing up on a Facebook Live. That'll do. Let's go with that. It will be fine. I'm going to remove those. Put them back on my thing. And clothes. Oh, we're doing on time. Ooh, my word. I have to get a bit of a wriggle on. Right, so these I have coloured using Distress Oxides. So let's get our ones out. I'm just going to see how many I've already got, see how many I definitely need to colour. If I don't need to colour things to save a bit of time. I need 2 of those. Right, okay. What did I use? Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to colour these 2 in because I need them. I don't need that one because I only need 2. Just so that we can get through all the demos. That one, because I liked the effect I did on the other one, I did a similar one. So I used the squeezed lemonade, and then I put some of the ripe persimmon through the middle. So that's pretty much the same technique I used on the other one. So let's have a look at these 2. So I need some, what do I need? I need a little bit of ripe persimmon. I need some picked raspberry. I do need squeezed lemonade. Squeezed lemonade. And Mowed Lawn is for this, which I've already stamped as well, and I'll show you that in a sec. Over there. Oh, and Sealer's Preserves. I knew there was one more. Sealer's Preserves. Come on. Right. What did I do with my... Oh, there it is. That's what I want. Okay, so water. And paintbrush. And so we're going to start with our Sealer's Preserves. Now, this is another one It's a water-based product. The more water you put with it, the lighter it's going to be. Now, oxides are quite opaque, so providing you don't put too much water with them to begin with, then you will get a nice opaque colour. Okay. So Sealers Preserves. I chose this because it's in the purples of the Distress family, but I do think it's got much more of a pinky edge. It's very pinky purple. Okay. Now, because the way this dries a lot quicker than the watercolor ink, so I don't need to necessarily worry too much. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix my colors and make it messy. Let's go for a clean bit there. Get some yellow on and do the edge. So like I said on the last one, you can use whatever medium is your kind of medium of choice. Then you know, you can colour these in whatever. I would say with your alcohol pens, some of the little bits are quite fiddly, but you may well have more patience than me to be able to do those, so no problem. And then notice we also need the yellow around the edge there. Where else have I used yellow in the middle? I'm going to get a bigger brush because I feel like I'm like using a very small brush for something that could be done with a much bigger brush. Right, so we're going to do these. There. There we go. And then let's get my little bit of towel. Right, let's go for some orange. Let's do the whole thing orange. I'm not too worried. Speed. I have made a bit of a mess on that though. Let's give that a bit of yellow. Blend that out a little bit. Maybe I want orange. I need the smaller brush again. I do. So just go over these bits with the orange. And yeah, I feel like I'm not getting a lot of colour. I think I'm putting too much water on. It's because I'm hurrying, because I want to get the other demos done, and we are already over halfway. Already. In fact, I might just stop with this, and then we'll just use the flowers that I've already got painted and cut, because I think you get the idea of what I'm doing. It's a similar process to the one with the other card. So yeah, I'm going to make that choice, and we're going to stop so that we can make sure we get everything we want done. So I'm going to move that away before I put my elbow in, and put that to one side, and I'm going to grab my card in, and I'm going to grab all my other little bits in. Luckily I've got quite a bit of stuff prepped, so it's not too much of an issue. Now with the leaves, I have used Mowed Lawn, and I literally just painted them in with Mowed Lawn. And then what I've done, if I show you on this blank one, is this top one I managed to keep together. So I'm just doing it roughly so that you can see. I managed to keep this one all in one piece. I did, I promise you. I kept that one all in one piece, and then I just literally went in and cut all the leaves. Okay, like so. And I'll show you in here. So there's the top bit, and there's all the leaves. So you can see I cut them all out like so. All right, so that's also luckily saved me a bit of time on the demos today. But that is from, that's this one from the Floral Foliage. So that bit is there, and so on. Okay, but they are they're almost impossible to, well, I say almost, for me, impossible to cut to use as pieces of full pieces of foliage. They are definitely for stamping. So what we're going to do is we're going to just start arranging these, and we're going to use some 3D glue gel. Now on the top, I did worry. I thought, ooh, the thing is with the alcohol ink, these kind of blobby bits don't look out of place with some of the others, so I wasn't too worried about covering that up on the back, so which made life so much easier. So I'm going to put these on. So we're going to put one there, and ooh, put the glue on the right side. Put one kind of here, and I kind of got it to flip over a little bit there, and then one here. Get to go. Ooh, can I get that to go? Is it going to let me go under there and over? That's what I want, like so. And I'll do the same down the bottom. Put this one on corner, then this one on there, and then this one on here. There we go, yeah, like so. And then what I've done is I used just dries clear glue, and put glue on the bottom and kind of shove them up and under. So just a little bit of glue on the end and push them up underneath all the bits of foliage. Okay, just a little bit more. I am not going to do all of this, just so that we can get the other demos in. But you get the idea. So I've done it down the bottom and on the top. I will finish it later. Let's put those back in the empty pot, and I know that they are there. Okay, now I have already got my little message stamp. Again, that is from the Fantasy Floral, just for you, on a little tag. And I have got a mount for that, so we're going to put that there. And then that gets stuck up in there. And to cover the glue on the back, because this time the glue does show through, I've just cut another one. And so it goes over like that, so it hides. Now, I'm going to stick these on, but I've done the same on the original card with the letters. So I've cut the letters out with that Sweet Pea alphabet die set from Julie Hickey. I'll stick this one on here, and then I'll show you the original as to how I actually covered that up, because there is no getting away with acetate. Ugh, it's dry as clear. There is no getting away with acetate that things will show through. So if you're using something you're looking through, so if you look, you can see all the glue there. If I show you the original, what I've done is I've cut mum out again and then stuck it over the back, so you can't see the glue. Any glue here, it doesn't really affect it, but I've stuck it there. So hopefully with that one you've seen enough. I will finish it off later and I will blog it so that you can see it. But yeah, just so for the sake of time, I am going to move on from that one to the next one. It may be, I'm just looking at the time, that I only do one more, and the fourth one, the pocket card, if we don't get time to do that, then I will do that on my blog. So don't worry, if you were hoping to see that one, I will put that one on my blog. But I realised looking at the time, I've just been waffling so much. Right, I do really want to show you this one, because I'm really quite pleased with this one. It's, as soon as I saw the stamp from what stamp it's on, the stamp set from Hazel Eaton, I kind of thought, oh, that circle kind of is just crying out to be sort of like on a turntable kind of thing. So what I've got here, I've got this kind of 3D card, and this turns on like a dial. So let's have a look at the stamp set. So I've used the whole of the stamp set here. Now if you don't want the birthday bit, you can either take the ink off or cut that off and cover it. I've used To My and Nan, which all come from this stamp set, and then the Nan is that lovely alphabet set again. So let me show you how to create this one. Okay, so now I do have one apology to make, and this is one of the reasons I was a bit discombobulated just before we started. I realised I didn't have my teal card with me. I prepped some bits, so I have got this is a different teal. This is the foundations teal. So there might be bits that look slightly different colours, but the whole idea is the same. So just bear with me while I get my measurements, because I want to make sure that you understand how to create this card. So I have a piece of card which is 5 inches width by the length of A4, and I have another piece. This is 3 inches wide by 7 inches wide. So we need to score these to create our base card, and we're going to score them at a 1/4 of an inch. Definitely a quarter. Yes, a quarter. 1 1/4. 4 1/4. And 5 1/4. I have to write them down. I've got so many different measurements. So that's that top bit, and this piece you need to score at 1/2 and 1 1/2. And again, I will blog all of these cards with measurements and where I remember to when I was doing my prep, step-by-step photos. So we're going to fold this. Okay, so this literally is going to fold like this. Now, the easiest way I found of sticking this is to stick it flat so that you know it's going to be in the right place. So I'm just going to put a bit of glue on here. Because this card will fold flat to go in an envelope. even though it's 3D, it will fold flat to go in. So I've done that there, so I know that that is in exactly, she says, trying to wiggle it while it's wet glue doesn't help. So let's just leave that to dry. This piece is going to create this bit, but I'm not going to stick that on yet because I have something I need to stick here and here, and I've realised I should have waited for this as well, but that's okay. That's okay. Right, I need my, here we go, my oxide. So all of these bits are all created using an oxide background. And those are the 3 that I have used. Let me see what I've got. Speckled egg, I've got cracked pistachio, and I've got peacock feathers. Now, you need a whole sheet of A4 for this, but it takes a little while to do, so I'm only going to do a little bit just to show you how I built up the colours, and then I've got a whole sheet that's ready. So I need my brushes. What have I got? That's kind of a speckled egg colour, isn't it? That's my peacock feathers and cracked pistachio. We'll go with this one. Right, so start with the lighter speckled egg, and I am just going to put some sort of, I say random, I don't know that I can ever do anything really randomly, but just some blobs on round and about. Like so. Let's put it here, a little bit there. Right, I'm going to keep that one out because I'm going to want to come back to that to sort of blend in. So then I'm going to go for my cracked pistachio, and I'm just going to kind of go in between these bits, not filling it all in, but sort of in between them, and then just going to go back over a little bit with the speckled egg, starting to bring the colours together. Some more here. So you see, it takes a little while to build up the colour and sort of to add in, because I like to go back. I prefer to choose colours that kind of are similar, so that you don't blend to a kind of mucky brown, and it allows you to then go back like I'm doing now and just merge them, and they just become a different tone of the whole thing that you're trying to do. So I'm now going to introduce a bit of peacock feathers, and that sort of really ties it in. And I'm going to get my piece here. I'm not putting too many finger marks all over it. The stress oxides have quite a nice long open time, which means they are movable for quite a while, so I can go back. They don't kind of soak straight into the paper and then you can't move them again. So you can see what I'm sort of aiming for. I'm aiming for where everything is kind of merged together. It doesn't look like separate colours, just like one sort of like, I don't know what I mean. I know what I mean, but I can't explain it. Kind of more sort of I don't know. I need to just ink and shush, really, don't I? Anyway, so that's kind of where I'm going with it, and I will show you the whole finished piece here. Move away my ink mat. So you can see that's where I end up with a whole sheet of that. And then what I did was I took some of the stamps. Now Hazel, I really like the fact that Hazel hasn't just got her focal stamp and her thing. She's given us some other little bits. So I'm going to take, if I know what I've done with the stamp set. Here it is. So I am going to, first of all, take the fern leaf. Look, the fern leaf. And I am going to... And because I'm cutting out of this, I'm not, if I was doing this for on a art journal page, then I would be sort of focusing where I want to go. But this is just going to be cut up. So I'm just kind of randomly stamping. And again, I think I said earlier when I was stamping something on the stamp platform, this is me in stamping. This is just like, this is for mixed media. It's to add texture. I don't mind if it's not pristine, which is probably why I struggle to do the whole lovely, nice, pristine stuff, because this is kind of more me. So you see I'm going all the way over, and I'm using the two lighter shades. I think I have some mess on my thing. The speckled egg and the cracked pistachio. So I've used that one. I'm going to use the little circles one and do the same. So speckled egg. And because this obviously has been drying for a while, this is layering up really nicely. So this lighter speckled egg is showing up on top of the peacock feathers. Now, if it was wet, wetter, it wouldn't layer quite so well, and distress inks wouldn't layer quite so well. So it's always a good idea to at least heat set in between your layers. Okay, and then I am going to use this little one as well. And all this is doing is just adding some texture to my background. Okay, now I have one slight issue I've realised. I might have to just disappear off screen for a moment. I have a stencil set, and I know I put it in, but I'm not sure where I put it. So just bear with me because it adds in a little bit more. Okay, so let's put those stamps there. I am just going to disappear for a moment and find my probably hear me making lots of noise. Maybe I didn't put it in. Oh, is it in there? Yes. Right, sorry about that. I'm back. Having just caused total chaos. Right, so these stencils are on the website. They are Elizabeth Craft Designs. It's the SO40 pattern stencil pack. They are just so gorgeously lovely and dinky. So these are my brushes that I was using earlier. I haven't cleaned them off. I'm not putting any more ink on them. And I am literally just using, because this is all very circular, I'm using the sort of bubble ones one. And I'm literally just going to go over wherever with my brush, helping to clean my brush, getting some of that ink off. It's also adding kind of more interest to this background. Okay, and let's get the cracked pistachio one in. When you're doing it through, it doesn't look like you're putting anything on. As soon as you move it away, you can see what it looks like. There we go. And then this is the peacock feathers one, so this is going to be darker. Doesn't have to be You see, this is totally random. There is no, like, I'm not thinking too much about it. I'm just looking to see where I could do with a little bit more interest on my piece. And that's it. Right, so there we go. We have our background piece. Now, this is going to be used for this part, and this part. Okay, so I'm going to cut those first. So I'm going to just use, I haven't heat dried this, so I may well end up smudging it, but we're going to go with it. It's one of those days. Okay, so I'm going to cut that bit. And I'm going to mark out this bit because I can, just very aware that I have said an A4 piece, but it is quite on the edge of having enough to cut everything out that you need. So I'll tell you what I am going to do. What I need to make sure is that I have enough to cut the 2 circles out. So I am just going to make sure that I've got enough of the card to cut out my 2 circles, and that will do there. Okay, so I should have enough. Right, well, I know I can do this. I've done it before. So I'm going to cut this bit off for my 2 circles. There. Right, and I'm going to look at it in a different way, I think. We are going to cut that whole bit down there. Oh, looking for my thing, and it's there. I'm going to cut that whole piece down there, and I know that that is the bit that's going to fit on the front. That bit is going to fit on there, and then this piece we're going to put, I'm going to put that right up to the end and cut it there. There we go. Okay, so that piece is going to go on there, and then it isn't wide enough. I'm not going to worry. I'm going to do, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it this way, because the circle will cover this bit in the middle, so it doesn't matter if I don't have the whole strip covered. It won't show. That's no problem. And we'll cut. Right, let's stick these ones on, and then we know we're done there. The glue. Is going on here, and then this bit is going on the back. There, and then sticking this at the top here, and that piece at the bottom there, and that bit in the middle will just be covered by that circle dial, not die. Okay, so this bit now needs to be stuck here, so we need some glue there, and I'm going to stick that bit on first, like so, and then I'm going to put glue on this bottom bit, and then I'm going to flatten it that way. I need to get that bit flat to make sure this bit's going to stick as well. There we go. Make sure that we've got those in the right place. There we go, and then it goes back up like that. Okay, so if you're making something that's folding, I find it's always better to stick it when it's folded, otherwise you can have a little bit of an issue. Right, now what we need to do is I need to cut 2 circles out of this piece. So we're going to do that. Cutting plate. I need a bit of tape. There. And a bit of tape. There. Let's run that one through and cut that. So one of those is going to be for this front piece, and one is going to be for the back piece. Okay, so that's one. Pop that one out of the die, and then do that way, and then we're going to pick up that one. Let's grab the same bits of tape there, and there, and cut this one. Right, now get these little bits out. Okay. I also need something else that's out there. I need my crocodile. Oh, my big old thumper there. Right. Okay, let's remove all the bits that we don't need so that we don't get ourselves in a little mess. Not difficult for me. Right, I'm going to need that. I'm going to need the stamp. Right. Okay, so we need to create the dial mechanism. So I think that's what we need. So what I've already done is I've cut a larger circle out of the teal card and also out of a very thin grey board. I have used this little rectangle die, and the rectangle die, if you need to know, is 1 inch by 1 1/4 inch, and I've cut out a little window. Okay, so I need to cut a window in one of these because it's going to sit over the top. The other one is going to go on here. So let's stick this one on first, and I'll show you how I work out the centre of where to punch the hole. Okay, so I need to do it on both of these. So, did I just chuck everything? I thought I got everything out and I didn't. Right, so I did have okay, I'm going to grab one of these actually. This is why I'm not great at working in a mess. Oh, there they are. Because it throws me off. Right, so what I did is I cut the same, this is the big one, I cut the same circles out on paper, and then I folded them. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay my, how are we doing for time? Lay my folded piece, and then the point is where the center is, so I know that that's where I need to punch my hole. Okay, so that's where I need to get my crocodile, and I need to punch my hole. That one is for the back, and then this one is for the front. Okay, now I need to know, come on up, I need to know where to put my die on this front bit. So I've already cut it out of there, so I'm just going to draw around it. I'm taking my die and I'm just going, so I've got a little outer edge, same on the other, And then because you can see I did it here too. And then I kind of position my die as best I can, and it's never going to be exactly perfect, in that little area. And then I am going to cut that out. Okay, so I now have this piece which I can now stick over the top of that. So let's do that. So this piece is going to line up over there. Okay, now this bit will sit on the top of here. And it did take me a little while to play around with this to know where to put each of the stamps. So, you know, if you want to just follow what I've done, then feel free. So I'm just going to grab the stamps now. And I'm using the Finesse waterproof die in rustic brown. Now what I'm doing is, because I know I want to go with my amazing up here, I'm putting a little, you can rub them out afterwards if you don't like them being there. So I'm going to do, and I probably am not going to get this done very well today, but because I'm rushing. So amazing is just going to go between there. Right, there's amazing. Okay. Now I then turn so it's just past my past sort of a quarter turn when I'm going that way on. So I want there and there, and this time I want beautiful. I'm going in there, and then the next one is sort of almost at sort of the bottom, and that's our loving one, and that's going from sort of there to there. So let's grab our loving stamp. What did I do with the? There it is. There it is. Loving. Ooh, put some ink on the G. So loving is going to go there, and then gorgeous. Oh, I might have just misjudged that slightly. We might just get there. I wonder if I could get gorgeous in there actually. Let's redo that. Let's put gorgeous in there. And we'll go that way with gorgeous. Slightly misjudged that going around, but hey ho. We can fix it. Okay, right. You don't even want to know where that's gone. Oh yeah. Right, and what did we say? Loving. Am I putting gorgeous? Well, let's go for it. Let's go for it. You get the idea. I will put more detailed sort of measurements on where I put things. So beautiful, gorgeous, loving. Right. So now we need to fix this so that it will turn. And so what I have done is I have a brad, and what I've done with a really small circle punch is I punched 6 out of grey board and stuck them together, then punched a hole in, and that acts like a washer. Okay, however, that's not going to work because I haven't stamped the top, have I? Let's get that done. I am going to do it in my stamp press. going to, it doesn't matter. In fact, I am going to put a bit of paper, not that paper, do underneath, just so that the bit that doesn't stamp in the hole. I should have stamped this prior to sticking it, prior to cutting it. I think really I should have done it, but we're just gonna keep going because we're almost there. Grab this. So this is the Finesse rustic brown again, the waterproof. I'm going to go with this whether it does it first time or not, just because we are almost at the end. Ooh, nearly missed my chair on the way back there. There we go. Right. Right. So let's go back to my little brad and my washer. So I need to put the brad through here. Then I need the washer. Then I need this back one. There it is. Oh, helps if it goes through the hole, doesn't it? Oh, it's because by trying to push it, I've opened the arms of the brad, and that's why I didn't want to go through. There we go. Okay, so this is now going to stick on here. So we're going to put glue on this bit, and that's why this bit will not move. And then because the washer is between this one and this one, it will allow the dial to turn. Helps if you put the lid on the glue, doesn't it? Glue. Where's the other one? There it is. No lid on that one either. Oh, but that one's going to play. That one's going to play. Right, so I kind of want loving at the bottom, so we'll go like that. Press that on, and now this dial will turn. Gorgeous, loving, amazing, and probably is better to rub out the little bits, but hey ho. Let's plug on. So I've cut, using that lovely Sweet Pea alphabet die set, I've cut Nan to go here, so let's stick that on. Oh, less haste, more speed. N. And an A. Oh. Nothing wants to play today. Let's keep moving on. I think it's because I've got so much gunk on my fingers now that everything is just sticking to my fingers. Let's just lie that on and give it a second, and I'll push it down in a moment. Right, so that's our Nan on. And then I have my two little bits here, just to do my very last little bit of stamping. I've got my ink pad. I don't have my little block. Doesn't matter, we'll go with this one. It's no problem. Let's take that one actually. A bit smaller. Right, so we're going to use 2My, and that's going on the arrow that way. And then we want Nan. So Nan is that little tiny one. And that's going to go on this one. There we go. And then we're going to stick these on. on there. That one on there. And then that's going to go there. And, oh, sliding about. This one is going to go up there. Phew! Phew! Oh, we got through it. Okay, so this is my little dial card using Hazel Eaton's All About the Girls stamp set and the Sweet Pea die set. I'm fiddling, and lots of lovely inky goodness with some Distress Oxides. So that's the third of the projects I managed to get through today. We also had the Acetate Easel, the one, and I will put a bit more detail on my blog about that one. And then the first one that we did, which is hiding down here now, is our pocket card. Is this the Australian one? Yeah, this is the back to front one I did just now, with its tag. I will I will do the pocket, the petal, the petal card, the petal fold card. I will do that one on my blog. That one also uses Hazel's All About the Girls. And then there are 4 other projects that we have videoed today that use all of these 4 stamp sets that will be going up onto the YouTube channel next week. Thank you ever so much for watching. I've been a little bit of a muddle today, so I hope it's made sense. If not, please drop a question onto either the YouTube feed or the Facebook feed, or pop onto my blog and have a look, and feel free to ask me any questions on there. Thank you ever so much for coming and watching today, and hopefully I will see you next week.